be good if the commissioners took a pay cut if they can. I think it has to be livable. Certainly the people that come to work at 8 o'clock and get off at 5, they're probably underpaid. I feel like that the commissioners are somewhat overpaid at the present time, and like I said, I would reduce the judges' cost to the county. I think this has to be done. We have to, there are two kinds of spending. Spending for needs and spending for wants. And I think we have to spend for the needs, but not the wants. The wants can wait for better times. Financially, the world is, at least our part of it, is in dire financial situation. And we've just got to quit spending for things we want. And if it's something we need, if it's groceries, buy it.
Mr. Eccles, thank you.
Nothing else.
Mr. Kendall, a minute.
As far as the salary, yes, with benefits and all, it is close, it is over $48,000 around figure. But you don't reduce that in half when you take half the salary. You still have cost of benefits. So you're still talking about, and certainly there's more than 800 hours or 80 hours a year for commissioners. The recycling center that I mentioned and that Ms. Dudley talked about, no, it's not going to make a profit, but it's going to, by redoing the recycling center, which we got the benefit grant for, it's going to reduce the cost of the trash collection station, and will reduce the amount of material that goes into the landfill. These are some of the goals for that. I think that, is that my minute? Okay. Well, I'll give you 10 seconds back this time.
Thank you, Mr. Kendall. Ms. Shaw.
I just feel that we can sit here and beat this to death over, you know, where is it going to be picked up here, where is it going to be picked up there, where is it, that's not the question. The question is the commissioner's salary. Cut their salary. They're not full-time. We've got the unit system in place. I mean, $18,000 is not bad for a part-time job.
Ms. Shaw, thank you. Mr. Tennant?
Only to say that expert that I was referring to didn't get to finish, who said you can't afford this annex, is your county auditor. She told them all straight to their face. They had made the mistake, terrible political mistake, of asking the auditor, can we afford this? And she said, not a chance, boys. And that was the end of it. All right, and in the face of that expert opinion, they sailed on and put us right teetering over the brink. Thank you.
Mr. Tennant, thank you. Mr. Eccles, new question. Will you sign a contract with the people of the county that you will resign if you do not follow through with your promises?
Absolutely. If you want a signature, you don't need one though. I will guarantee you that I'm not going to tell you anything that I'm not going to at least try to do. Most certainly, it's your prerogative to run the government. On July 4th, 1776, representatives of the United States of America wrote the Declaration of Independence that says we owe these truths to be self-evident. And among these, the rights of people, the right to liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, government are instituted amongst men, and they derive their powers from the consent of the governed. And when any government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, or to institute a new government. Yes, I would sign a contract if I tell you anything and don't do it. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Eccles. Mr. Kendall.
Certainly, I'm sure everyone on this panel up here is going to do everything they can to fulfill any their promises or what their platform is. You know, you cannot sit here and say, I'm going to do something 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and not know what the conditions are going to be. All of the, I don't doubt that everyone up here is honest to the fact, to the effect, and that they will intend to do what they want to do, or what they say they're going to do. And certainly I would do that too. But you cannot say, well, you know, we're going to cut taxes, or we're going, you're going to work at trying to cut taxes. You can't say what this cost is going to be next year. Just like expenses for the county. You know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you did not know gas was going to go from $1.50 a gallon up to over $3 a gallon. These are things that you do not know are going to happen. Yes, I think all of us up here are honorable individuals and will do everything they can to fulfill every obligation that they have committed themselves to, and I will do that.
Thank you, Mr. Kendall. Ms. Shaw?
I think what we're looking at here is we all need a map. We need vision. We want to know what's going on. We're going to have to look at plans and get stuff going on. But you read this question, contract. Will you sign a contract? Well, I mean, if you are not working for the people, what people? I mean, is it a specific group of people? I mean, I think we really need to nail this contract thing down. Like, if somebody approaches you with 750 signatures, or maybe 800, and you didn't do a good job, should you resign? No. I agree with Mr. Kendall. I do not agree with that annex building at all. I'm sorry, Mr. Kendall, I wasn't a big supporter of that annex building. But if somebody walked up to me with 800 signatures and said, you know what, you signed a contract and you didn't do your job, and here's 800 signatures, no, you do not resign. So if you want to sign a contract, you better have the majority of your voters coming to you with that petition, telling them exactly what you want. You don't have a select group of people steamroll or run this county. It belongs to everybody, and everybody needs to have their say. There's not a group, one select group of people that should have that right to do that to anyone.
Ms. Shaw, thank you. Mr. Tennant?
Thank you. I think, in brief, the idea of a contract is sort of silly. That's what we have elections for, and that's what this election is for. But I want to harken back to something that may make this a little shorter. One of the persons here on this diet said, spending for needs is a good thing, but spending for wants is not a good thing. And I wonder if all of you are familiar with the lawsuit style plaintiff Clyde Nichols' original petition for removal of county officials.
I'm sorry, you swallowed the wrong.
All right, this lawsuit was filed by your county attorney, Bob Busselman. And he and Mr. Eccles got together and had coffee one afternoon and worked themselves up into a tizzy. They knew that evil had become incarnate in Karnes County, and they were going to get rid of it on company time. So Mr. Busselman drafted this 7-page petition with 2 exhibits. Mr. Eccles was a representative of the people, and they filed it to remove them all of them. Then they thought about it for about a week and realized they made some big mistakes, so they revised it, and they filed it again. That was on March 9th. Then the court, the administrative judge David Peters was a fine judge, looked at it. You know how long it took him to tear it up and throw it in the trash? 4 days. By the time it got to his desk, he said, this is madness. Who are these people? Well, one of them was a county attorney, and the other one was a man who only wanted to spend for needs and not for want. We didn't hear an apology for that, and the extent of time wasted based on poor judgment is enough to make you, if you're voting in the Republican primary,
Mr. Tennant.
consider that the contract with Mr. Eccles has already been defined. Thank you.
Mr. Tennant, thank you. Mr. Utley.
Yeah, I'd like to talk just a little bit about those 750 to 800 taxpayer signatures. We got those signatures as a stopgap. We got those signatures in less than 2 weeks. If we would have had the time to circulate that petition, I feel we would have had a majority.